So most companies prefer to work with some form of legal counsel in order to preserve some form of privilege and or other kind of secure doctrines so that they can maintain the confidentiality and privacy of the information that they're producing. Now, a caveat needs to be placed here in the context of if you're an organization that exists in a jurisdiction that has some form of pay data compliance, where you actually have to report some subset of this information to a regulatory body, it won't necessarily matter how much privilege you maintain in the audit process itself, because any report that you produce to that regulatory body is going to be subject to public disclosure laws and some of the other kind of ways that information can get out there in the public space.
I see. I see. So obviously, if it's something that's required, you're not going to be able to keep that kind of
Required, to the
private.
extent that, for example, in the UK and Ireland, part of the reporting requirements actually involves publishing something that is public facing, right? So you actually have to put it out there in the public sphere. Now, it's not very granular, it's very high level as far as like what you're putting out there, but the reality is there's other jurisdictions that do have public posting requirements. But in addition to public posting requirements, some of the jurisdictions, even where you're providing a report to a regulatory body, state agency, federal agency, you're now subject to whatever public disclosure laws that state or federal agency is subject to. For example, there's been a lot of back and forth regarding federal reporting to OFCCP and others regarding, Freedom of Information Act requests and whether or not they can get access to some of those reports. And so it's just something for organizations to be aware of, that you're not necessarily going to be able to blanket all of this information with privilege or work product doctrine laws to prevent its disclosure. There are going to be some situations where this information can get out.